there's a clear distinction between the economy and the and public safety in general. Those things depend a lot on who's social. So where do you stand socially? If you're left wing, it's going to go down the drain.
Right.
If you're a believer in God, you're proud of that. You believe that God has a special plan for the United States. There's a lot of things that tend to stem from that. So I don't know if you want to campaign on that, but my feeling is that if you approach that from within my area, within my set, it's not just a insular set of people. There's a strong, very strong social things, and if there's some way we can help, it might be in that taking on that as an issue, or specifically bringing those issues out.
Right. Well, I can tell you I'm not left wing.
Well, that's helpful.
Okay. I do believe in God, absolutely. And social issues obviously are very, very important. So yes, we have to tackle them. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems we have right now. The city has been divided socially, economically, religiously, every single day. And the only way the city survives is if we bring them all together. And how do we do that? We tackle individual social issues. So, is there anything more specific? I'm more than welcome to answer.
Give an example. If you do, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that are.
Of course, there's a lot.
But if there's specific social issues, I don't mind. It's something that everyone would get, even if it's not necessarily for the rest of New York. But if it's for if you do have literature that you put out, you do put forward some of the most important social issues for us, education and things like that, and private
School choice, right?
School choice,
Absolutely.
Do we have any other questions? One over there?
What do you think of Commissioner Shea?
Commissioner Shea. I don't know Commissioner Shea personally. I know people who worked with him for many years. They hold him in the highest regard. Tremendous respect for him and for his career. I don't agree with every decision he's made as police commissioner, but I do understand the position he is in. He is dealing with a mayor who is a socialist, a communist, and who is sympathetic to criminals. So I don't envy Commissioner Shea. Again, he's had a wonderful career. From everything I've heard, he's a good man. He's in a terrible spot. So it's very hard to judge him as commissioner because we really know who's making the decisions. And that's a shame. That is a shame. He's in a bad spot.
I have a question. In respect to our Constitution for the state of New York, how is it that the governor can override the will of we the people when he is supposed to answer to us? What rights did the framers of our Constitution put in there for such tyranny? Why are we being subjected to this? You know, when Antifa and BLM is out there destroying our city, and we can barely come together without this ridiculousness.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, this is not the law. This is, you know, so what right do we have to override that? Because more people are dying with this on.
Our biggest weapon, our biggest weapon is to vote.
Vote.
That's our strongest weapon. That's more important than going to court and trying to get something overridden. It's about voting. The only thing politicians listen to are votes. We can send a strong message on November 3rd that we're not taking this anymore. If we elect the right president,
we're going to do that. You know, with all due respect, we are going to do that. But it just seems to me that the will of we the people, who are the government, okay, have rights. How can he dare to tell us we cannot open our businesses? We're supposed to be compensated for that every time. So why aren't we? And I think that if we all open our businesses and say, to hell with you, you're a tyrant, and this is not what our Constitution is about. Freak you, we're taking back our city streets. Where do you stand with something that bold, even if it means that you have to go to prison?
Where do I stand with it? I stand with business owners I stand with residents, I stand with taxpayers.
Be-
And I certainly believe that business owners should have gotten together and all opened up and defied the government.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's good to
They need to do that.
Okay, we need to do that. We need to take
do.
that.
Absolutely,
Okay,
they do.
so how do we get from here in discussion to action? Because we only have 2 weeks.
November 3rd is the state, senate, and assembly races. We're a one-party state. People could talk all they want. If we don't take back either the Senate or the Assembly, the Senate is easier to take back. If we don't take back the Senate, we'll continue to be a one-party state.
We gotta
They
elect Vito Bruno in Brooklyn right here.
voted, the state Senate and the Assembly voted to give Governor Cuomo emergency powers for 90
Okay,
days.
so how do we get rid of that?
You gotta vote some of them out. You gotta vote out the senators.
We're not in an emergency anymore, you know?
Yeah, but
bamboozling us.
but the people that
are only for a limited time.
they were for 90 days, but the Assembly and the State Senate are renewing it for him.
Have
So
they
it's
renewed
our
it?
fault for the 80% of the people that don't go out and vote. It's their fault for electing Democrats and having a one-party
But
state.
have they renewed it? Are you saying
Yes,
it
they've
is renewed
renewed it
again?
several times.
Okay, has it been renewed now? Or
Yes.
Yeah,
is.
they keep renewing it all the time.
The Senate and the
But the
Assembly are
Democrats
all
are
the
holding
Democrats.
But it's people that have, like Bill is standing
But
here.
they don't, like,
We have to, everybody could talk, but if you don't get your friends and people out to vote, and we don't get more than 20% of the
but a
people
lot
out
of it
to
is
vote.
rigged.
It's not rigged.
It's true. No, it's
You know
rigged.
what, saying that it's
This is
rigged
something that
only
you
means
guys-
that you're giving it an
I
excuse.
know, but
There's
No, there is
80% of the
election
elected, there's
You guys
80%
know
of
that
registered
there's
voters
election
that don't vote.
right?
If we don't get
Any
people
other
out to
questions?
vote,
what about George Soros?
it doesn't matter.
Got one more
If
question.
more people voted, we wouldn't have a problem.
We need to. The holidays are coming.
Now, as you know, marijuana for all intents and purposes legal here in New York City. But I used to be combat cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, and other illegal drugs. What about what you serve chopsticks? Mayor, you know, with these articles, you know, and this whole big topic.
Well, one of the reasons, to answer his question, he was talking about the illegal drugs on the streets of New York and the rise that we've seen. Well, that all plays into Mayor de Blasio's administration. He's ignored drug crimes, he's told police officers not to make drug arrests. And what do you think is going to happen? Obviously, illegal drugs is going to skyrocket, and that leads to other things.
And loud music.
Loud music.
And his daughter's gonna do most of it.
Yeah, it leads to more crime, exactly. It leads to more crime, it leads to homelessness, it all ties in together. So yes, we're gonna get stricter, we're gonna enforce the drug laws, we're gonna beef up the narcotics use, we're gonna have them go out on the streets and clean up our streets. Like we did in the 90s.
And you've got a federal government that's going to say, that's going to help you.
There was a city truck making an announcement over the loudspeaker on Avenue U, Ocean Avenue. If you know of anybody who are not wearing a mask, and no, this is and here's the number to call. And I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it before. And you will remain anonymous, and you will be saving lives. So I went over to them and I said, "And who do I call to stop this socialist communist shit? Who do I call to report you guys for doing this? This is what Hitler did."
The mayor has been very, very strict on mask wearing and threatening to punish
But
people.
they're actually making announcements.
Yes,
That's right.
yeah.
You
They've given phone number, tip
didn't
line.
hear of that.
You see what they're doing at the synagogues? They make $100 for a picture. If you take a picture of people praying inside the synagogue,
Yeah.
$100.
He's very, very strict on that, and that he'll enforce, and that he'll punish, but he let riots go on for 3 months.
Right.
So that tells you where he is.
Yeah, it's a selective enforcement.
Exactly.
Could we, at some point give a short prayer and support of you?
Go ahead, Menachem.
What?
You want to do it now?
Okay, we offer our sincere prayers and very much support for the state and for the city, and on behalf of all the citizens that are in desperate need for this, we will ask everyone who has their own faith and belief, and we'll ask for your mayorship to succeed.
Very much.
Amen.
Amen.
If we have any other questions, if not, we would like to thank Bill for everything.
Yes, I have my cards, we'll give them out.
Give that out in a second. Kenny, could you do a couple pictures with your camera with us over here? Larry, do a
I was yesterday. I was yesterday.